G'day, I'm broadcasting to you from Melbourne in Australia, and my name's Pete. This is just a bit of an introduction, bit of admin sort of stuff with respect to Fat Bastard Pilates, which I've set up, and I'll explain that as I go through. Now, I discovered Pilates back in 1996 in Perth, Western Australia. And I'd had the uni games coming up in 8 weeks, and I was competing in the shot put and the discus, and I injured my back again doing a standing long jump, and my sports doctor suggested, oh, there's this new thing, Pilates. So I went there and did 10 sessions, and they were amazing. Within 5 sessions, the back was fine. There was still the injury, but my back was encased with cement, effectively, with the work that my great instructor then, Mihi, was almost a borderline Nazi instructor, but she was fantastic. And I was back squatting 400 pounds and competed in the uni games with some success. Then I sort of did a little bit of Pilates here and there. You know, I've done a lot of weight training. I've trained people in weights, sprint training, all sorts of stuff like that. And in 2019, I sort of just was getting this neck pain. And so I thought, okay, exercise physiologist. And I thought, oh, no, let's look into Pilates again. So I went to my local Pilates, Body Revolution at Newmarket in Brisbane, and did a session. It was fantastic. There was a little thing there about, do you want to learn more about Pilates? And I thought, oh, yeah, okay. Might be, couple of, sessions and learn a bit more. No, I actually enrolled in a certificate for Pilates mat instructor course, which was 350, 400 hours. I can't really recall, but nevertheless, it was a lot. And subsequent to that, I graduated from Tensegrity Studios on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland with a certificate 4 in mat instructor Pilates. Subsequent to that, I've registered with the Pilates Alliance of Australasia, the PAA, and I'm a registered mat instructor with insurance, and I also do all of the first aid courses and everything to maintain that, plus maintain my professional development points to maintain my qualification. Now, that was all good and well, but then COVID hit, and I basically went from being about 200 pounds to currently about 250 pounds. And my girth increased from about 36 to 45 inches. So I can safely say I am a fat bastard. Although, in saying that, I did have a very close relationship with my father. Now, because I've become so fat, it's really given me an understanding of how fat people feel. And they can be intimidated. And a Pilates studio, is often inhabited by very fit people. And if you're, a fat bastard, or if you're a woman and you're a bit roomy, it can be quite intimidating. And so the purpose of this is to try and bring what is one of the most fantastic exercise techniques to a more broader audience. And, whether or not you want to lose weight or just stay how you are, that's fine. But the stuff we're going to learn here is going to help you. It's going to help you with your breathing. It's going to help you with your posture. If you've got some niggling injuries, it also gets the lymphatic system working. there's been a lot of academic research into this form of exercise. Now, just with respect to Pilates, at the moment, it has a very feminized aspect to it. Now, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But Joseph Pilates, he was far from that. And you can look him up on the internet. You can read all about him. One rumor I heard about him was that when he set up his studio in New York in 1948 or 46, and then someone set one up around the corner and tried to copy what he was doing, he went down there, met the owner, sat down in the owner's office, put a pistol on the table and said, "You close." And that guy closed his studio. But anyway, I'll leave it up to you to do your searches. But amazing man, Joseph Pilates. Now, the other thing, the purpose of this is to let you know before we actually do any exercise, there's some equipment you're going to need to get. It's a pretty modest investment. And the first piece of equipment you need to get is a mat. Now, you can pick these guys up for less than $10 at Big W, Kmart, anything like that. No need to go really fancy. The second thing you need, and this is a golden rule of Pilates, is you have to have socks. Now, I just buy my Bond socks and use them. That's fine. You can go out and buy the fancy Pilates socks. That's up to you. The next piece of equipment is one of these TheraBands. You can pick these up as sets from, I think, again, Big W, Kmart, very modest price. And these are used to assist you in exercises sometimes, and also to assist in stretching. The next piece of equipment, which we're not going to be using immediately in this course, but is get a roller, okay? Now, as you might notice, this is a big roller. It's probably close to 1 meter long, but there are exercises where you want to actually lie on the roller such that your head is at one end and the base of your spine is at the bottom. You can pick these up there too for a reasonably modest amount of money. Finally, if you want to give a little bit of ambiance and also just have general hygiene with your mat, it's always good Pilates etiquette that when you've been on a mat, then you get the spray and you wipe it down. Now, the supermarkets sell this organic linen freshener, and I must say it is fantastic, and it's very cheap as well. But basically, that's all the equipment you'll need. Now, this wouldn't be a complete session with at least a little bit of Pilates. Now, one of the purposes of Pilates is to get you back in touch with your body. You know, a lot of us work in offices or doing things like that, and we live in our head and we actually lose touch with our body. Like, you can't sort of think in your brain, oh, let's flex my vastus medialis oblique. You just don't have that control. So what I'm going to show now is just something very, very basic. So firstly, a lot of the issues people have is in their shoulders. So, and another point I'd like to make too is breathing is very important with Pilates as well. So basically just breathe in and raise your shoulders. So and let them drop down. Okay, that is just a very simple way. You can do that a few times a day in the office, and it will help to try and alleviate some of that tension. But we'll be certainly getting into that a lot more. Now the next one is, and this might show you sort of the power of this form of exercise. Now, please be sitting down in a chair. Sit with your legs out in front of you, knees bent at 90 degrees. Now lower your shoulders. Think of lowering your shoulders. Now push with your sits bones. Now your sits bones are those bony things in your backside. So just think they're pushing through the chair. They're pushing through the chair. Now what you'll be feeling now is that your lower spine, your lumbar spine, will be starting to go from extension to flexion, i.e. it might even start touching the back of the chair. But what you'll also notice is that your thighs will feel lighter and you've effectively posteriorly tilted your pelvis. And the next part of this is constantly thinking of your shoulder blades. Now they're called scapula and they are an unusual bone in the body in that they're not connected to any other bone. They actually float on the back of your rib cage, but there's 11 muscles that control them. And if one of them is not working, you will have problems. So think of your shoulder blades being dragged to your hips, you're pushing through your sit bones into the floor. And then with respect to your head, imagine a piece of string is pulling your head up. So don't use your neck, just use that image of a piece of string pulling it up while so you've got the counter movement of your shoulder blades going down and you've got this sensation. And you'll be sitting in good posture. Now, one other thing while I'm here, because I can't really help myself, is maintain that position, raise your arms, and then concentrate on keeping those shoulder blades down. They're sliding down your back. Now, not stretching your arms from your shoulders, but imagine you've got pieces of string on your fingertips pulling. And that's your energy. That's how you derive your energy. And you should start to feel a nice stretch. Now look, that's all for today. It's really just an introduction also for myself to kind of work out how to master all of this technology and get used to just banging on and talking to a camera. So welcome to Fat Bastard Pilates, and I'll be getting some actual exercise videos up probably this week because I do work full time, so it's a little bit of, I have that obligation. Yeah, if you're tuning in, hi, nice to meet you. Okay, bye.